Hello and welcome to Digital Assets class. First off, let me say I am not a financial advisor. These videos are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I encourage everyone to do their own research and never invest more than you can afford to lose. So going through the news this morning, I found an article from is this the Bitcoinist? Where it's talking about Bitcoin ETF is inevitable according to this one SEC commissioner. And it goes on and talks about Robert J. Jackson Jr. and what he had stated about a Bitcoin ETF. His quote is, eventually, do I think someone will satisfy the standards that we've laid out there? I hope so. Yes, and I think so. Getting the stamp of approval from the deepest and most liquid capital market in the world is hard, and it should be. Once we make it available to everyday mom and pop investors, we are taking risks that Americans can get hurt. So basically what they're saying is they just want to ensure that these ETFs aren't going to be easily manipulated. That's one of the reasons that they said the one from the Winklevoss brothers, they were saying that that's one of the reasons that they didn't approve theirs, is because it looked as if they had some serious liquidity issues or in custody and possible manipulation with their ETF. So the thing is that we need to take away from this is the fact that yes, they've just recently resubmitted the VanEck and Solidex people recently resubmitted for their ETF once the government shutdown was over. So eventually we are going to have a Bitcoin ETF. It's just a matter of time. These commissioners, the SEC, the people that are overseeing this, they don't want to get left behind. Other countries are already creating financial vehicles like an ETF that allows their like the gentleman was saying here, the mom and pop investor to invest in Bitcoin without having to invest directly into Bitcoin. Like I talked about earlier, an ETF would basically mirror the price of Bitcoin without having to actually go out and buy Bitcoin on an exchange like we're doing right now. They could actually buy into this ETF without having to go through the hassles of buying Bitcoin. So eventually this is going to happen. And I've been saying this, and I know a lot of other people in the space have been saying this also. All types of financial tools, financial investment types, from mutual funds to ETFs to futures, everything is going to end up being traded. All these different financial vehicles are going to eventually trade in cryptocurrency, whether it be Bitcoin, XRP, or some of the other altcoins out there. All types of financial tools and vehicles are going to be used and created, and some of them that may not even exist today, because there is so much money available in this new asset class. This is going to be a huge windfall for a lot of people that get in early and stay the course and don't just sell as soon as the price ticks up a little bit. Right now we're still looking at XRP being around 29 to 30 cents, which is fantastic for us, people that are trying to get in early. And I believe it's going to pretty much stay this way until backed and Fidelity digital assets comes online. When those big institutions come online and start allowing for trading, I think that's when we're going to start really seeing some price movement. And like I've said before, the market cap is low enough right now to where there still can be some manipulation from big whales and stuff that are out there trading in the market. And I truly believe they're keeping the price down. Every time we see the price start going up, there's a big sell-off and everything, the prices drop back down. And I don't believe they're going to, allow these prices to go up significantly until these major financial institutions come on board. I mean, you think about it. Would you rather have your clients come on board when the prices are super low like they are right now, or after the prices have shot up? If XRP was $1, yes, it would still be a great investment, but when you can get it for 29 cents, that's a better investment. So they want to get in, they're used to being able to get in on the ground floor of opportunities and stuff. Big money has always done that. Like I've said before, the average investor generally doesn't have the opportunity to get in on the ground floor of a new project, a new, in this case, a new asset class altogether. We generally don't have the opportunity to get in on those. It's those venture capitalists and people of that nature that are able to get in on the ground floor of companies and stuff, getting stock options and stuff before the company goes public and things of that nature. So just hold on. I know it seems like it's been a long road for some. I mean, I know for me, like I said, I started investing in XRP back in January of 2017, and I've seen the prices go up and had a big old Kool-Aid smile on my face, but I knew deep down that it was going to do so much more than what it was, and that's why I didn't sell at the time, and why I don't plan on selling anytime soon until these prices get to where I feel like they should be. So with that being said, I'm going to look at another article that goes over the fact of Ripple, that's talked about Ripple's movement of XRP. They moved 1 billion XRP the other day, and that billion XRP is worth about $300 million, and they moved it, and the cost to move it was less than a penny. Now this is the beauty of XRP and blockchain in general, is the cost savings that you get when you're actually moving money. Now, companies, banks, they're pretty much everybody's in it for a profit. And a lot of times they put the price at a point to where, hey, it's going to cost us this amount of money, so we're going to pass that cost on to the consumer and then add another amount onto that in order for us to make a profit. So, I'm sure they've got a margin there that's like, okay, this is what people are willing to pay, so we're gonna charge that plus our amount on top of that. So when you can sit up here and send $300 million for less than a penny, that is major cost savings for the bank or financial institution, which most of the time they're going to pass that savings on to you. Now, what they're doing here, by being less than a penny, their profit margin increases dramatically, even if they give you a discount. Now, even if you're able to send money for a lot less, their profit margin has increased substantially because the cost of sending the money has went down so much. So that's why I said this technology is definitely not going anywhere. There's too much money to be made. You're saving money, so that's also, when you're looking at your budget, or even say your personal budget, in order to increase your wealth or increase the amount of money that you have available to you, you either need to make more money or save money. So in this case, you're actually increasing your profits by saving money. And so the companies this is definitely not going to go anywhere. We can just, sit back. The people that have already bought XRP or one of the other digital assets, if you're satisfied with the amount that you have and know, like one of the videos I went over where it showed how much XRP you needed to get to a certain dollar amount. If you're comfortable with the amount of XRP you have, just sit back and enjoy the ride, because it's going to happen. This technology is going to take off. This is one of those situations where, it's gone too far. They talk about, I remember back in 2008 when we went into this recession, they were talking about the banks that were too big to fail and stuff like that, so they couldn't allow them to go under. Well, this right here is going to be too big to fail. This technology, these companies, what they offer is too great to put it back. To say, oh no, we're not going to use this. This is not going to work for us. This is the potential of blockchain and XRP and some of the other altcoins out there. It's just too great. It's like, the countries see money, and it's like deer in the headlights. They're locked in and focused. I remember Bloomberg did an article back before Christmas. They were talking about, Bitcoin is dead, and the market and the institutional investors have, given up on the idea of getting into blockchain and investing in some of these cryptocurrencies. And I think it was back that it came out and said that they had just secured $180 million, I believe, to bolster their exchange that they're setting up. And it looks like they're going to actually be launching in March. So it's like you're looking at institutional investors and people putting money, $180 million towards new technology and the promise of what it has to offer. These people understand the markets. They're not finna sit up here and just because the market is down and we've been in a bear market for over a year, they're going to say, oh no, we're going to scrap this. We're not going to use this $180 million that we just secured in funding to go forward. No, we're going to fall back and not do it. That's not going to happen. You know, I mean, you've always got these news companies and stuff like that that'll sit up and, you know, try to make you and I afraid while they sitting up there stuffing their pockets full of this, you know, these coins, these assets. They steady stuff in their pockets and trying to make us afraid and scared to enter into the market. But if you're doing your research, you following the money, you're looking at what's going on, you're looking at what SEC commissioners are saying, you're looking at what companies are doing even overseas, it's the writing's on the wall that this is where you need to be. This is what you need to be invested in. So I just want to end the video and let you guys know, like, hey, you know, don't be afraid, don't get worried. Just sit back. If you're comfortable with the amount you have, sit back and hold it. If you're not, continue to buy on the dips. And I want to thank everybody again for listening. And I'll talk to you guys later. Please like and subscribe to the video. Thanks.